Today on the TRIDENTCast, we play games for fabulous prizes and eat the world's hottest cookie. This is TRIDENTCast number 743.
Plowed in.
Theme song. So hey everybody, thanks for tuning into the TRIDENTCast. We probably have a ton of brand new viewers on this. For the people that are joining us for the first time, this is our monthly sort of check-in with everybody where we tell stories and we do fun games and drink until we're belligerent. I am one of the hosts of the 4 hosts that are here tonight. Fag von Rathstein, aka Ty. And we have a very special set of cookies that was made by one of our fans, the bakers. In each one of these cookies is an entire half of a Carolina Reaper pepper. And Aki over here is Heatman
I do love spicy
100 at AOL.com.
Robert, you are the man, but I have to opt out of this.
I am
a hot wuss. It is what it is.
I'm a hot wuss too, but I might take a little tiny piece of it, and just to try. But before we get to that, I want to play a little game show with all of you, and the winner of this trivia game show will win an Akaso sports band from our partners at Akaso. Akaso, we're a company. Yes, the exact same sports band that I'm wearing right now. I have a sealed one in blue, so it might even match your.
Guy wanted so bad.
I know, or it might match or it won't match your shirt. There we go, but it's in blue. So, I have a series.
Contrast.
I have a series of questions. These are trivia questions from our tour that we were just on, and those who get the most amount of questions correct will win the Akaso watch.
Gee, Ty, where were we just on tour a little bit ago?
We were on tour in Cincinnati, Ohio, Charlotte, North Carolina, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia. And so I've taken a few pieces of trivia from some or most of those stops. So question number 1. Chapel Hill, North Carolina, is home to UNC Chapel Hill. UNC Chapel Hill has a special piece of history.
I have a question. Do we blur out the answers?
No, I'll tell you what it's a multiple choice.
Got it.
UNC Chapel Hill has a special piece of history. Was it the first public university, the 8th public university, or the 11th public university in the United States? Aki?
Aki's gonna win this.
Oh no,
So A, B, or C.
Aki's
First,
a trivia guy.
8th, or 11th?
No. Not this one. I want to go with 8th.
8th. Brian?
I'm gonna say first. UNCG, where I got my master's degree, was the first public women's college in the U.S.
Right.
And that's I don't think that's apropos of anything here, but
Fun fact.
yeah.
Fun fact?
Yeah.
Brian's going with first. Brent?
Oh, it sounds like I have to say 11th.
No, you don't. I mean, you can choose the same.
Oh, I'm gonna say 8th.
8th. So 2 for 8th, 1 for first. The correct answer, believe it or not, it was the first public college in the United States. That's 1 point to Brian. 0 points.
Default.
0 points to the rest of you.
In the English language.
Yeah.
Okay. In Atlanta, Georgia, the venue that we played was called the Masquerade. The building that now houses the Masquerade used to be a plant. Was it a metal smelting plant? Was it a wood fiber plant? Or was it a Ford manufacturing plant? Aki. Metal, wood, or cars?
Boy, I'm just gonna butcher all these.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
Home of Georginians. I mean,
I'm going to say metal.
metal. Aki's going with metal. Brian. Metal, wood, or cars?
A wood fiber. Say that answer again.
So it's a metal smelting plant, a wood fiber plant, or a Ford manufacturing
What
plant.
does a wood fiber plant even
I feel like it's
do?
the first.
I don't
say like
know.
A or C.
I gotta say smelting as well.
Metal! 2
Yes.
for metal.
Say metal.
3 for metal. It was an, and I think I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Excelsior plant, which is wood fibers. So unfortunately, no one gets that correct.
3, 4, metal.
All right, question. Question number 3. Urban Artifact Brewing was our stop in Cincinnati, Ohio. Recently, the head brewer at Urban Artifact shocked the world by creating a beer out of a sealed cask that still had yeast that was fermenting inside of it. How old was the yeast and the cask that he used? Was it 50 years old, 75 years old, or 150 years old?
I mean, it's definitely possible to have yeast that long. I mean, I remember reading about a bakery in California that was using yeast culture that was over 100 years old, so that's hard. I mean, like, if you think about it, Cincinnati and whatnot, that area was, inhabited by Americans, Europeans, much before the West Coast. You said 50, 75, or
150. What's it gonna be? Aki Shimada.
I feel like it's long shot, but I'm gonna say 150.
150. Brian.
I'm also going to say 150.
150. Right?
75.
75. The correct answer. 150 years old. Point for Brian. Point for Aki. So we got 1, 2, and 0. And now for the final question. Potentially a tie matching question.
Luckily, the loser doesn't have to drink a bunch of shitty beers.
Not like last time. The number of YouTube subscribers that we have increased by in the last 28 days is 500 more than the amount of miles that we drove round trip on this trip. Almost exactly to the number 500. What is the amount of YouTube subscribers that we have increased in the last 28 days? Closest without going over gets the prize. Or gets the point. Aki.
The amount of YouTube subscribers we gained.
We gained in the last 28 days.
And you said, sorry, it's almost exactly...
Almost exactly 500 more than the amount of miles that were driven on the last tour.
Boy, I know where we're at right now, but I can't remember where we were before. 2,200.
2,200 increase. Brian.
So we're talking about how many...
How many have increased? Not the current...
Not the total.
Not the current total, but how many we increased by.
The current total is 500 more than the total we drove?
Yes. No, well, yeah, the current increase is 500 more than the total that we drove.
And that's the number you're looking for?
That's the number I'm looking for.
Okay.
Oh shit, I thought it was the amount we drove. Okay, anyway.
It's a tricky question.
Yeah, I'm calculating roughly.
When we do the podcast, I'm going to do that overlay of, like, math going through Brian's head. Like,
I'm gonna say 3750.
3750.
For me, could you do the Simpsons dead donkey?
Yep.
Right.
Because you're right by the green screen, so that'll be easy.
Oh, $1, Bob.
$1.
Yeah, or I figured you were gonna guess 3751.
The closest without going over is actually Aki. That means that we have a tiebreaker.
How many? What was the number?
2,700
okay.
new subscribers
actually horribly off.
in the last 28 days.
Wow, I thought we drove a lot more than that.
This is
2,300
This
miles.
is so funny because I said 2,200.
Right.
And I thought you'd asked how far we drove.
No.
But it's funny, if you added 500, you'd get 2,700.
Exactly.
That's so funny. Okay.
So now we have to come up with a tiebreaker question, and I didn't prep for this.
What's Ty's favorite number?
So we're gonna have to. Oh, okay. I remember something. So the only bar that I didn't have any trivia on was the milestone in Charlotte, North Carolina. but I can think of one trivia question that will be a tiebreaker for you guys without going over.
How many cases of tetanus have occurred in the last 3?
How many local beers were available for purchase? And since we were in the band, we got $1 off of each one of them. How many different local beers were available at the Milestone for us to purchase?
So I think there's only one brand. Are you asking how many brands?
There were actually 2 brands, but yeah.
How many brands or how many different beers?
How many individual beers? And all local.
I feel like it wasn't much. I'm going to say 5.
5, right?
I was actually going to say 6.
The correct answer is 6. Brian wins!
Oh,
We were both pretty close to that.
Sports Watch. How do you feel about that, Brian?
I feel wonderful, Bob. Thank you.
And we'll have you back on the podcast later time to spin that big wheel.
Or you can trade it all
Or
for
you can, what's in the box? The box! The box!
the box. The box.
So yeah, so
This is in a box.
yeah, so we did just get back from a tour, and I thought maybe we could just recount some of the stories from the tour now that we have all the trivia out of the way.
We also played that wonderful show in Milwaukee.
Oh,
since
jeez,
last,
yeah, we got a lot to talk
which
about.
has the
don't we?
best story.
That does have the best story. Let's start there. So on the 12th, we played this place called Rock County.
Rock Country, I think, right?
Country? Was it country or county?
Country.
It was
Yeah.
country. Rock Country.
It was
pretty sure.
So
Rock Municipality.
the funny thing was is that Larry, right? He messages me like a couple weeks out, and he goes, "Oh yeah, look at that."
Oh.
Yeah. So he messages me a couple weeks out, and he's like, "Hey, so I guess after you guys are done with your set, we're all gonna go to the strip club, huh?" And I was like, my reaction was like, what? and he's like,
What you say?
he's like, "Oh well, did you see the event? You get free admission to the strip club with the admission to the thing." And I'm like, "Oh, that's an interesting, that's an interesting cross promotion, I guess." And what I didn't realize until like the day of, or maybe the day before, was that the venue was in the basement of a strip club, and so like our sleazy '80s dreams have finally come true.
Sort of.
We're finally almost come true.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I thought, though. It wasn't like we're on stage and these poles and
And there was like ladies dancing.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been like our sleazy '80s dreams
Yeah.
actually coming true.
The drummer we used to have said that he's done that though.
Really?
Yeah.
Joe?
No, Brett.
Brett? Oh. Huh.
Yeah,
Oh
he said
yeah.
he's actually done that.
That's right.
Yeah,
They
he's
played at
played with
Vision. They played at
strippers.
Visions, and he said it was very awkward.
Oh yeah, he did say
Yeah.
that, didn't he? Yeah. So so there was a lot of interesting things that happened at the strip club basement show, but who wants to tell the funniest story?
Well, you two are the ones specifically involved.
Yeah.
so-
Right.
Okay.
So I'll start it off and then you guys can just jump in. So the security in this place was tighter than any venue I think I've ever been at, ever seen. Like every time we walked through the door, we would be like wanded down and like patted down by a dude, and it was sort of like he saw us bringing in equipment and stuff like that, and it's sort of like, and the funny thing was like he was patting us down for like knives or guns or drugs or something, and I was carrying a duffel bag full of knives. And like flammable explosives like, in my duffel, for the show, and like these are sharp knives, and he'd pat me down. He's like, "All right, go on in," and he did that every single time.
Some of this image of like we're loading in, and one guy who's loading in is a stereotypical like
I'll get to it.
Islamic terrorist or whatnot, and he's like, come in, and someone's like, "Death to America, Allah!" He's like, come in, and another guy like walks in who's like normal, who just had a cig. He's like, hey, wait a second, grab the metal detector.
That's me,
Pretty much what happened,
Yeah.
figurative way.
Yeah. So we loaded in. We were getting stuff set up. Some of the guys were. The whole place had a lot of really crazy draconian rules, but some of the guys were upstairs, actually everybody's upstairs getting a bite to eat except for me. And the sound guy is like, "Lawrence, is a Trident here?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm here. Maybe I can help." And he goes, "No, I need everybody here all at the same time. I got to give them their wristbands." I'm like, "Oh, I'll just take the wristbands up to them. They're just eating upstairs." He's like, no, I have to put them on physically. It's the rules. And I'm like, that's okay. That's dumb. But and you know, the sound guy, I don't think he was. I don't think he wanted to go up a flight of stairs. Basically, you know, like he definitely wanted to stay down into the basement.
He and the door guy were a little overweight, and they definitely subscribed to the early to mid 2000s fashion of the I dumped in my pants look.
Oh boy!
Right. Where like their crotch is where their knees are, and they're like struggling not to trip over their crotch.
What if they're watching this hockey?
Sorry. This is their wake.
Fans, the Lords are trying.
This is their wake up call. Like, no, the door guy is definitely not watching it, and the sound guy is definitely not watching it. So anyway, so I went upstairs to get the guys and say, hey, gotta come downstairs to get your passes. And in the upstairs, like there's the front doors where the security guard is waving everybody down, and then there's the side doors that lead downstairs into the basement venue. And so I go up and I say, hey, you gotta get blah 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 blah, and I round everybody up and we're going towards the door. Well, Brian is already down there and Brett is already down there because they took the back way or something. And so us three are here, and so we're about to walk through the doors, go downstairs into the venue where we were at for the last 2 hours.
And thousands of dollars of music equipment.
And thousands of dollars of music equipment is down there. and the bouncer just comes like rushing at the door, like, no, stop! You know,
it's kind of fat, so it's like, I wish I weren't so fat.
You get the unfiltered truth here on the TRIDENTcast.
Try not to trip over on his crotch.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. So anyway, he slams the door and he's like, no wristband, no entry. And I'm like, we're in the band. I'm going downstairs to get our wristbands. He looks at me, he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. My face is on that poster. I don't care. You have to get the sound guy. I'm like, how am I supposed to get this? He's downstairs. Sound guy's downstairs. Well, you're gonna have to find somebody who can go downstairs who has a wristband. So I find one of the bands, and they go and they get the sound guy. It takes the sound guy like 10 minutes to get over there, and he finally appears, and I'm like, oh, you know, so I'm like waving at him, like, wait right there. He's like, what? And like the security guy won't let us downstairs. Wait right there. And I wave over to the security guy, like, hey, he's here. And just at that moment, like 5 people come through the door, right? So he's like wanding them and checking purses. And I'm searching, and I'm just sitting there like waving at the sound guy. Just wait. He's almost done. And like 5 minutes go by, and this guy's still like wanting people. And I swear to God, he gets done wanting, and he starts to like meander over to us. And the sound guy, I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at this guy, and the sound guy looks at me and goes, ugh, and he turns around, he walks away, and I'm like, no, and the guy like gets to the door about 10 seconds after he walks away, and I'm like, he was just here. And the guy's like, sure he was, you know.
Yeah.
And so I like grab his shoulder. I'm like, look, and I put my face.
You take your glasses
next
off.
to my own face on the poster, and I'm like
he made
you see
the regular band photo face.
Yeah. It is me. And then Brent, who is in his hood on the poster, and all you can see is like the bottom of his mouth. He's like, yeah, I'm the hood guy.
And that's both you guys.
Well, and Aki goes and Aki's like, yeah, that's me over there, you know. And he looks at us, and he goes, all right, you can go in. And he looks at you, and he's like, you're not him.
No, you're not. Yeah.
Literally the only Asian guy in the entire bar. And he's like, that's not you.
Also in the picture, like, all you could see was my beard.
Yeah.
Whereas Aki, you could see, like, most of his head.
Yeah, most of his head.
And it's just like, no, you're not.
So, somehow we got down there, and somehow we managed to get the sound guy all the way back up and get our wristbands on, and, like, there was a lot more crazy, like, draconian weirdness all through the night. But all in all, it was a good show. The bands we played with, Slow Burn and Memories Wither, were both really fun. And
Slow Burn were like the nicest people
They were so nice. Oh my gosh.
And that show was set up by
Zoe.
Yes.
Yeah. Zoe is a super cool dude, runs a lot of the scene out of Milwaukee, and yeah, he's amazing. So yeah, I mean, all in all, the music was good, and the place was packed. There was like a line out the door.
There were a ton of people, and Elliot and Bill House were there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was super fun.
A couple of us went to the strip club afterwards.
Yeah, that was my first jaunt into a strip club.
It was my second.
Yeah.
First time being close to the front.
Yeah. Girls, girls,
Yeah,
girls.
they just play that on repeat.
Yeah.
And one of the strippers did a push-up on you?
Yeah, we only had 2 1s and a 5, so when we gave her a 5, she put her heels on my shoulders and then did some push-ups.
Wow.
Really
That's good form.
really good form.
Oh.
I was really impressed.
Good.
Yep. I was like, that's worth $5.
Two things too is we were parking and I was like, I asked people in the vehicle, I was like, what song do you think of when you think of like strip club? And everyone in the car was like, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and I was like, oh, why didn't I think about that?
Yeah.
And the one I always think is Welcome to the Jungle. And it made my day while we're eating. We heard Welcome to the Jungle. I'm like, yes!
There it is.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the quintessential strip club songs.
When I was in there, they played Dark Necessities by the Chili Peppers.
Huh.
It was like their best single on their newest album.
The Chili Peppers, I mean, from what I understand, the Chili Peppers used to like play regularly in strip clubs.
Checks out.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey Aki, what genre of metal would the band Whispering Scythe play?
Atmospheric death metal. And
Oh,
you have to think,
man.
Whispering. It'd be like
Yeah.
it'd be
Whispering
like
Scythe.
Agalloch. Like yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
That's the beer he's drinking right now is Whispering.
It'd be like, to have like on one song, it'd be like the sound of like wind on a windswept plane would be, and then it would be an arpeggio would be like, and then all of a sudden you get the tremolo picking like that. Yeah. Whispering. One thing that's a bit disappointed is that like the country rock place had like that like biker bar vibe. There were a bunch of bikes outside.
Yeah.
And I was so hoping for like someone to get a chair smashed over an
Like a bar fight.
Right, and I expected this biker guy coming in and being like,
Yeah,
yeah, I really want this guy coming in and be like, let me see her, and another people being like, no man, Mercedes doesn't want to see you. And someone smashing like a chair over his head and then a fight breaking out.
You'll never have a love like we had. You'll never have it.
Yeah.
I did not frequent the strip club that night, but as a side note, once upon a time I did find myself in LA at about 3:30 in the morning, pretty drunk, outside of Vince Neil's Girls, Girls, Girls.
Is that a building name?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's Vince Neil's strip club, like off the Sunset Strip.
Welcome to Vince Neil's Girls, Girls, Girls. How may I help you?
This was when I was on tour back in 2009, and it's just kind of like we drank all night, and I find myself, in front of this strip club, and this bouncer's like, "All right, only $20. You come in," and I literally have $0 in my wallet. My wallet is completely empty.
The fly flew out.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I have nothing." I'm like, sorry, and he goes, "Okay, not 20, 12, and you come in." Still don't have any money, dude. 9. I can't do 9. We finally walk away and go crash at some dude's house. I forget, but
9 times
Close.
0.
yeah. Maybe I should have stayed there and kept haggling with him.
Yeah.
I would have got there
0?
eventually. Yeah.
0?
9. What about 8? All right, 8. Well, I don't have 8. How about
Yeah. It was.
Well, 0 is the only price I would pay, which is why I went into
Right.
the strip club. We get wristbands so we could go in.
Yeah.
What do you do in countries where they have like dollar coins and you're at a strip club?
Do you pelt them with
You put
dollars?
it in the slot.
There would be a lot of injuries.
I think we are one of the only countries that actually does not have a dollar coin. And
Yeah.
technically we do, just no one
Right,
uses
no
them.
one uses it.
Yeah, not in like mass circulation.
Right.
Right. So that was
It was a
Milwaukee.
good show.
It was like all in all, I
It was
think
memorable.
it was definitely memorable. It
Yeah.
was definitely memorable.
It was a good crowd.
Yeah.
And it can be really tough to draw in
It's a good
Milwaukee
crowd, it's
some
a good
nights.
cause.
It's true.
Yeah, it's a good cast.
Then we went on tour.
Yeah, then we went on tour. So the first night was Urban Artifact in Cincinnati, and I don't remember if it was this way the last time we played there. I want to say no, but I think Urban Artifact has now turned into like an all sours.
I noticed. I don't
brewery.
remember that
They had a
used-
lot of them
I didn't
before, but
The only stout they had was
Yeah.
in a can,
yeah.
and we couldn't buy couldn't buy it with drink tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went like all in.
Yeah.
And I like sours, but like with the weather and the snow, I wanted a stout.
Oh,
It was raining.
I actually,
yeah.
I
You guys
actually,
have some urban artifact in the beer fridge over there.
but I have a very specific urban artifact beer. I completely forgot about this until just now. That I need you guys to try on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you guys take the stories from here. I'm gonna go get us some tasting glasses, and this is what I'll say. Heidi and I tried this, and we were not ready for what happened when we opened the can. And you guys will not be either. The guy
I don't know
the-
what
the-
that
the-
means.
so
I'm ready.
So Kenny from Automaton was telling me like, hey Ty, they got the extra pulp version of the Gearhead or pulp. So like they make the sours with like fruit and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, oh they got the extra pulp version. It's you can only buy it and it's only for a limited time. They only have a few cans left. You should really pick some up. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm thinking like extra pulp, right? When you think of extra pulp, you're thinking like pulpy orange juice,
yeah.
or something like that. I'm gonna go get a can. I'm gonna get some tasting glasses.
I'll take over.
You guys keep it going.
I'll try to take over here.
Excuse me.
So it was a 3-band bill at Urban. It was a pretty darn good crowd for a Thursday night.
Yeah.
I believe the first band was Siege
Lord.
Lord.
They
Yeah,
were solid.
and the
Third
kind of
time
a
we've played
3-piece
Monomarth.
Monomarth,
Style.
melodic death or symphonic death. It was really good. It was super cool.
Have
Yeah,
you seen
um,
them before?
Yeah, we played with them
Okay.
at
We played them 3 times.
Cincy Power Fest.
Yeah.
This is my second time seeing them. They're super solid. They have. They're one of the few bands that have even more crazy costumes than we do.
Yeah, more skin.
I was warming up and hanging out upstairs in the very cold old church room, and they got into their very cold leather armor up there, and I would have just been like, I'm bad with cold as well, so I would have been shriveling and dying up there, but they were big manly men, so they made it work.
And every time they get better. Like
Yeah.
Brent and I have seen them 3 times, and
Mm-hmm.
every time we see them, they've definitely improved. And I don't know if their girlfriends get hotter, but they were good looking. That's what Brett said.
And they have tremendous, music aside, they have tremendous WWF, kind of old school Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, Powers of Pain, Demolition vibes to what they
Yeah.
do.
Oh yeah, brother.
And then we played, and then Automaton debuted their new lead singer, who I
yeah.
thought, I love Sugarman. He's great. Then the new singer did a very nice job, though,
Mhm.
singing, kind of stepping in and singing some of Sugarman's old tunes. So,
Definitely had a bit of a different vibe. He was more like rock and roll than like
Yes.
power metal.
Yes.
But I thought it
but-
worked.
I mean, he was super comfortable on stage. I learned that he's been in other bands. But
Yeah.
like,
I really
he
liked
just-
them.
That was
a
his first show.
A
And
good surprise.
he stepped
Yeah.
right in and.
Yeah, he knocked it right out of the park.
Yeah.
Okay, Aki, I want you to hold this glass aloft.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so hold it so the camera can see it. This is the Gadget from Urban Artifact, and you'll notice on the side, extra pulp, extra thick.
Oh.
Okay, great.
Bottomless
It's gonna
bug,
come out like a
Duff
gel.
extra cold.
So, I was not expecting this when I bought it.
It's going to be super pulpy. Oh my god, it's like a smoothie. Ooh. I really like the color though.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's your
Colors
here's your
should be
prune
lavender
juice.
and puce.
Yeah.
Or this.
Here's your prune juice.
This looks like
There you
a
go.
berry smoothie, like blackberry raspberry smoothie.
It even stains the glass like a smoothie.
Yep.
Look at that.
Wow.
Cheers, guys.
Hey, by the way, it was our last show with Kenny ever, so I say we cheers.
Let's go.
Oh,
say,
to Kenny.
He's going
to
out
Kenny,
to
who's
Arizona?
moving to
New
Albuquerque.
Mexico.
Albuquerque.
New Mexico.
Yeah. The funny thing too is when we were talking about doing the West Coast tour, we had places to stay in every city except for Albuquerque, and I told him that. And he's like, "Well, now you got a place to stay."
Okay.
So,
Hopefully we see him again.
all right, here's the smoothie, the Gadget.
Drink your beer smoothie.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. That's good shit.
That is good.
I don't think I've ever had a beer
It's
like
like
this, how
tart.
thick it is.
I've never had a thick beer. Thick.
Yeah.
It's weird. I like sour things, but I'm not a fan of sour ales. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But this is all right. This is at least interesting. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was That was Cincinnati. Did anything else happen? Went to Skyline Chili.
Well, we didn't go this time.
Brett
but
did.
Picked it up after.
Brett did.
We never gave him money for
We
that.
we
Oh,
made,
shit, we forgot to give him
Oh,
money.
yeah, that's right.
It was his
Whoops.
fault.
Yeah, that is his fault. Yeah.
So last time we all piled over there and made a big production out of it, and it
Yeah.
was fun.
We saw a boob.
This time, I think just Brett and Ryan, and maybe Ryan's girlfriend went,
Yeah.
and the rest of us stayed behind. But then we absolutely gorged on the goodness.
Yeah.
They got pickup and like we got the things that came back and they didn't have any cheese on them. I'm like, oh, what the hell? But then Michelle comes in with this like literal garbage bag full of cheese.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like it was chock full, and it was chock full of like individually wrapped like
Individually
smaller
wrapped, yeah.
bags of cheese, and everybody got like 3 bags of cheese. You know, it was like everybody got like a half a pound of cheese.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Now, since Brett is not here, no. I'm not doing this as shit talk. What's your guys' thoughts on Cincinnati chili? I'm just curious.
Skyline chili?
Yeah, Skyline, or just Cincinnati style.
I'm usually not a big fan of chili.
Yeah.
I like it. I
Yeah.
think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like meat sauce on spaghetti for me.
That's my thought as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's okay, and I'm not really into like the spaghetti part that much. I'd rather just have like a big ass bowl of chili, personally.
Yeah, you see, I purposely, I guess it's on the spaghetti. That's the Cincinnati style, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's I think Greek inspired. So it has these interesting spices. I think there's even like cinnamon and other stuff in it. Yeah.
Okay, so I did not do that, and I probably should someday. But I love the chili dogs. They got the mini chili dogs that are piled on the cheese, and I'm afraid to admit that if I lived closer to that, that would become a habit for me. I think.
You have been playing Sonic the Hedgehog. I knew it. Chili
Yeah.
dogs.
What? That's a Sonic.
Yeah, it's a
too?
Sonic
chili
yeah.
dogs.
At least in
Crazy.
TV show, yeah.
That is true. I guess it was only the
I
chili
don't know
dog
anything. Sorry.
I just work here.
I just
Do you
work
like chili dogs? Sorry.
Uh-oh. Aki's dying.
No. Do you like chili dogs in both the Good Sonic the Hedgehog show and the
The horrible one. Yep.
the horrible retarded one that had the voice actor from who was
Urkel.
Urkel?
Yeah.
That's
you
so
know,
dumb.
That's right. There was like a dark ass Sonic the
That was
Hedgehog
good.
show that was
And there was
good.
a horrible
And
one
there was
that
like
went
a
whoop, 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 whoop.
with like the fucking chicken, the mechanical chicken and shit.
Jaleel White.
And there was a horrible one that I swear to God would rot your brain if you watched it.
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Robotnik, watch out. I'm going to run away
I
real
think that's the one I
fast.
watched.
Yeah. You watched the bad one.
Yeah.
I think it's an angry. It's either an angry video game nerd or the film critic that does like a review of the old school Sonic the Hedgehog show, and he just tears it apart.
Yeah. I mean, that one was pretty bad.
I think with the Cincinnati chili, it's tasty, but some people have a sweet tooth, and I always joke that I have a carb tooth.
Yeah.
I love pizza, I love pasta, probably my favorite foods,
Mhm.
and I think it's hard. Like, it's tasty, but if I like to nitpick, I feel like the pasta is not like al dente, and I feel like I feel
It's like a fast food pasta.
and I feel exactly, and I'm sure like there's maybe some Cincinnati chili places that a little more expensive and a little better quality food you're getting, but yeah, I feel like they kind of heap some ground beef with some cinnamon on it on top of some watery pasta,
Yep.
and then dump a bunch of flavorless cheese on top.
I thought the cheese was okay, but anyway,
Brett loves it.
Brett loved
And that's
it.
the important part.
That's the
That's
important
the
thing.
important
Yeah.
thing.
I would probably indulge with Brett anytime he wanted.
I really don't mind it.
Brett gets excited about things, and
Yeah.
I'm dead inside, so it's like kind of fun to watch someone else
Exactly.
get excited.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm cool.
I didn't mean to sound so negative, but yeah,
No, it's okay.
It's
It's
a
okay.
fun experience.
It's an unfiltered Aki opinion TM. We'll have that. Just put that down at the
Yeah.
bottom. So
I love the chili dogs. I think they're great. So
Yeah.
I give a grade of A for sure.
So although none of us went except for Brett, he did say that he once again saw a boob.
Really?
Yeah, he did. Because I asked him. He got back and he's like, "I got Skyline Chili." He was all excited, and I'm like, "Well, did you see a boob this time?" He's like, "I did." You know.
He didn't tell me that.
Oh, he totally did.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently,
Okay.
some lady was like, "I want to get so much to the manager. What the fuck is this man?" And it just fell off. That's probably like a nightly occurrence there. But anyway,
It's like we have Pizzeria and Ian's on State Street. They have the
they have Skyline Chili.
All right.
Yeah. So, anyway, so that was night one. For me, I could never, like, the first night on tour, I just never sleep. So I think I slept like an hour and a half, and I had like a crazy like micro dream where everything that would happen in a normal dream all seemed to happen in the span of like 5 minutes. So like I had like 40 characters in this dream, and they were all talking at the same time. So it was this big cacophony, like Skyline Chili, and I'm just sitting here like, oh my god, shut up! What the fuck is going on? And then I woke up, and it was like an hour and a half later. I'm like, shit. So,
Bummer.
it was a really weird dream. I never had anything like that happen before. But so then we drove to North Carolina, and this time we drove to Charlotte. So we completely skipped West Virginia. Oh my god, I was so happy when I saw that like "Welcome to North Carolina" sign, and like we'd just been in Kentucky the whole time. Oh, it was great. So we were at the Milestone, and we were joined by our good friends, A Sound of Thunder, for the first night, and we got to see Tommy, got to hang out.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the primary feature of this tour, and that would be this.
Oh yeah, the what is it?
Oh yeah.
Michelle came up with some sort of a.
It's called-
oh yeah,
it's
do
called-
the gotta do the shake.
She always has a different thing
Oh, right.
that she's
Well,
very excited about. Before it was the bird making
Yeah,
sound.
I unfortunately got her started on this one, and
You were the reason.
yeah, I was the
man.
cause of it all this time. So, but yeah, we had great fun randomly doing this.
In the backseat in the no fun zone.
Yep.
Yeah.
The old toll wagger. I come up with a different name for it every time, and that keeps her laughing.
So yeah, Tommy showed me the proper way to eat a chicken wing on the bone, because he had like a stack of 40 of them when we came in. Yeah, you guys missed this. It was fun. Yeah. I thought Charlotte was like our second best show of the tour.
And I think that, I feel for most part we played the best that night. I feel.
I think we did, and well, at least Figaro turned out like the best that night of the whole tour. And Tommy was super duper happy that we played that song. So
Just generally mad props to Tommy.
Mhm.
Our second time playing that club with him, and he absolutely got more people out that night than the first time we were there. The first time was all right, and the second time was even better.
He plays invested a lot of his energy.
I mean, if you look at his Facebook page, he works at that club. I mean, he's booking shows and working the door and getting people in there and making things happen, and that is not an easy thing to do. So
that is true.
It's a fun place.
I left one of my winter gloves there, and I agonized over that, and the guy
because you just got one. Because you just bought it. You got it for Christmas.
And he even mailed it back to me, and it got home right before the really awful cold hit this last week. So thank you again, love you.
Yep, Tommy, you were the best.
Sometimes there's a man, sometimes there's a man.
Yep.
Yeah.
That man's Tommy.
That man is Tommy.
It was a good night. I feel like every band was really technically talented and whatnot.
The guitarist in the band before us could definitely shred.
Eden's Kiss. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were good, and he had a Kemper.
It was actually line 6.
Yeah.
The Helix. The
Helix.
Helix. Yeah. First time I'd ever seen that. Those things are like super tiny.
Yeah.
Really.
Brian and I agreed though, the lead tone was good, but the low end chunk and whatnot, it's not quite there.
Kind of missing.
Yeah, it's I use when I play solo gigs or when I play with my cover band, one of the cover bands. I just bring my line 6 and a guitar and I just plug straight to the PA pretty much. And that particular model, it's a Pod 500 HDX. It can do a lot of things really well, and I love the versatility of it. I have to maybe work with it a bit more. I just can't dial in a great sounding metal rhythm tone though. If you want just rock and roll AC/DC Scorpion style martially crunch grind, it can do that. It can do that pretty well. But the really tight, heavy metal tone it struggles with, unfortunately. Maybe I just need to program it better. I don't know, but
yeah. So yeah, Sound of Thunder played and they were great, and
then Nightmare.
and then Nightmare
They're
is
so
always
fun.
always fun.
And like, yeah, they just had like such a great stage show, and like, you know, we all had our tetanus shots before playing the show, so like we didn't have to worry about like anything.
The
Just
Milestone.
enjoy the night.
For those of you who haven't been there, the Milestone is an interesting establishment. Has a lot of history, a lot of historical graffiti. You know, it's definitely one of those bars that
Loose
you
ends and nails.
you keep your shoes on, you know. But it's got heart.
Character.
It's
It
got
really does.
heart and character, and I
Yeah.
like that place. So
I did not play Nintendo this time.
Yeah, it wasn't
because there was
hooked
a
up.
10-speed bike in
In front
of
monopolizing,
the Nintendo.
monopolizing the room that someone had left there. So
that we had a
that's okay.
choice. We had a choice that night. We could either try to cram everybody, us and a Sound of Thunder, into Tommy's apartment, or we could drive through the night about 2.5 hours and get to Raleigh and stay with Steve from Mega Colossus in his party mansion. And so we decided we're going to go for the party mansion. Now, I had an hour and a half of sleep the night before, and you know, we got out of there at like, I don't know, 2 in the morning after we had some cookouts, something like that, maybe 2.
Yeah.
yeah. The cookout was
We're going to
glorious.
spend like $6 or $7, and
You have
oh my
3,500
God.
and you
calories.
eat like a damn hell-ass king.
Damn hell ass.
It's like you get an entree, and then you get 2 sides,
Yeah.
and only for $1 more you can get shake.
You can get cheer wine.
Yeah.
Sweet
So, yeah, what did you
land
think of that?
Liberty. Oh, I had it last time. I love cheer wine.
Yeah,
it was
I
great.
think it's like kind of like a cherry Dr Pepper.
That's
sort
a
of.
great way of putting it.
Um,
Yeah, it definitely tastes like
Those
cherry.
are flavors I love. So
So we drove through the night, and I was driving for about, I don't know, maybe about an hour and a half, and I started to go like, you know,
Yeah,
and
that
everybody
sucks.
else was sleeping, but Aki and Michelle were having this incredibly spirited conversation about Deep Space Nine.
Star Trek, like Deep Space Nine, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I pull over, I'm like, Aki, you gotta drive, and Aki was just a fucking trooper. He's like, all right, give me the wheel,
Well-
you know, and you'd never driven that before with the trailer.
No, and I think it's funny because I used to, back in the day, you and I were the workhorse drivers.
Right,
Back when
right,
we used
right.
to take 2 vehicles, you take your Accord, I'll take my minivan.
Yeah,
And I still remember when we drove out to Warriors of Metal,
yeah,
I did all the driving in 12 hours there and back.
yeah, you
But
did.
I just don't feel comfortable with the trailer, but it worked that night because the highway was so deserted, and I didn't feel so nervous about like driving
make it
amongst a
easier.
bunch of other cars.
Right.
I was technically still awake, but I was like pretty drunk, so
That's
I ended
also-
up having a few more beers at the Milestone than I think I was originally intending to. So
Oh, I didn't know you were.
It happens.
We
yeah.
stayed at
Well, it's like I said, I learned at the end that it was free taps of PBR.
wait, what?
Free
Yeah.
taps of PBR.
I would have had
the
another
band.
beer.
God
And you didn't
damn
tell
it.
any of us.
Are you serious?
Oh,
I
I
was
was
like,
at
well, by
PBR.
the time I
Second place
by the time I
winner.
found out, like Nightmare was almost over.
Man.
Like it was not, with no offense to anybody, it was just not properly,
Yeah.
or you know that
Wasn't
information
advertised.
was not disseminated in any
Not
way.
advertised. All right. Well, we
I
know,
don't mind
we know
if you
next
can know
time.
But I
someone for a
snuck-
couple
I
of years
snuck-
and not really be their friend.
thinking that I would not be on driving duty at all, or that it wouldn't even be a thing, I did sneak another quick cup
Right.
in, and then by the time we got to cookout, I was a little tipsy,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then that's when also at cookout Nina relived the Minneapolis tale,
Yes.
which
Tell us.
I'll tell the short version, and I think it was 2007 or 8. My old band Ottoman, before we became Luna, or maybe we were Luna at that point, I forget. We played a show in the Minneapolis, put on by I think Sword Lord and Bobby and a couple other people, called Flight of the Valkyries. It's a specifically a metal show for female-fronted bands. The first year we played that, we played with After Forever, and I really wanted to say something to Flora, and it was just like so intimidating because she's such. But I mean, she's physically big, but she's also just such a gorgeous woman that I'm just like I can't. Anyway, second year, there was a band called Benedictum, and I don't think it was Sound of Thunder, but it was their band Bloodcore played. Or Blood Corpse.
It was,
Anyway,
I think it was Bloodcore. It was
Yes.
Bloodcore.
Anyway, I was
God damn it.
Luna Mortis was direct support, was second to last. So I spent a lot of time downstairs in the green room just kind of playing, hanging out, warming up, jamming, whatever. And so it was like me and 4 or 5 other female singers down there. And Nina just decided she liked me. And I don't remember this, but she says she sat on my lap and was flirting with me pretty hardcore.
Ooh.
So, I mean, I remember that we definitely hung out, and I definitely remember that she was flirting with me. I don't remember her sitting on my lap, but she says it happened, so it probably did.
I laughed really hard at the band name Bloodcore, and then she was telling me that she was like trying to fit in and be edgy, and she took like a booby shot picture with like an AK-47, and she was like, "Oh, I gotta send this to you." It's just shit to me. I'm like,
well, I think.
Yep, there it is.
I think Bloodcore is, or Blood Corpse. I'm sorry, I should know this. I can't remember. I think they're still a band. They
Really?
just they're still doing stuff. They're just Nina is doing Sound of Thunder now. For whatever reason, I guess Nina didn't realize that I was also that Luna Mortis guy until
Cookout.
Cookout in Charlotte. So small world, Dr. Jones.
Yeah. So we finally made it to Steve's Party Mansion at like 5:30 in the morning. We all took showers, and I mean, since it was the Party Mansion, we all got our own floors, basically. And I passed out hard in the basement, and I slept for like 7.5 hours, and I woke up and I was like, yes. You know, I didn't
when
have
you're on tour, I mean, even 7 hours is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. Steve is from Mega Colossus. He's the guitarist, and yeah, his house is just something else.
Mm-hmm.
So we hung out with him and his wife, and you know, sat around, talked, played with the dog and the cat, and
He's just a great guy to hang out with. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, if he lived in Madison, we would all hang out a lot.
oh, absolutely, we hang out. Yeah.
And
He's very-
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go
He
ahead.
showed us his amp he built, and Brian and Brent got to play around with his stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, he's incredibly knowledgeable about tone and gear.
Yeah.
And he builds his own stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's pretty
Yeah.
remarkable.
I still remember at Mad with Power, we were talking before the show about amps and whatnot, and I told Steve, I was just like, God, I'm like, man, there's so few people in Madison I can talk to about gear and whatnot, and he was like, I have a feeling if I lived in Madison, we would hang out a lot. And I'm like, yes, we would. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So so then we went to Chapel Hill. Or
Yeah.
was there anything?
Well, the only other thing I was going to add is, as we realized at the milestone that we were going to be first on the bill in Chapel Hill, Brett and I looked at each other straight and said, "Let's get fucking drunk." Because I mean, honestly, there are not many shows where we can go first,
Oh,
then
yeah.
put our stuff away, and then be off the hook for like another 5 bands. Like that just doesn't happen very often.
Right.
So
And drunk we got.
yeah.
That was a lot
I
of fun. Yeah.
So that show is fucking amazing.
So yeah, 506. I mean, we've had 2 really great shows there, and we even went on first. And there was a slight delay because some idiot put a rock through a window or something.
In the upstairs changing room where we were at, like,
and
across the hall.
And so they had to like slam on the brakes of everything. Like we were like all ready to go. Like nope, we gotta wait. The police are here. We gotta get this sorted out. So we sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there, and then finally the sound guy's like, "All right, we should probably go now." And like, "All right, well, we're gonna have to cut shit now." And he's just like, "You know what? Don't worry about it. Just do your thing."
Mm-hmm.
And we did play the whole set, and that was awesome. So. Thank you to sound guy. Can I remember it? It's the second time we worked with him.
Sound bomb.
Sure.
Steve.
Anyway, we got to play our whole set, and that was super awesome of everybody. Being on a busy bill with lots going on, and we still got to do our full thing, and that's always a really awesome feeling. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So first we played, and that was probably my best show of the tour.
Yeah.
And then Sound of
Sound of
Thunder
Thunder
was amazing.
Yep. Yeah, they were pretty solid every night. They pretty much nailed it
sure.
every time.
I don't even know what to say more than that. It's like
They were great.
really good every time.
We played, Nina and I played Nature Trail to Hell, a Weird Al Yankovic cover together. That was great. Got to sing that with her.
Next was Swineherd, who was very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, like Cup of Tea, it was like a train wreck in a good way. I couldn't stop staring.
Yeah.
Their front man was really crazy.
Their front man was like Animal from the Muppets.
Uh-oh. The camera went off for some reason. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't even know how to describe it, but
What the hell?
he was like a death metal vocalist guy with like a huge mouth and beard and hair, and had a certain
Kind
way
of
with
looked like
words.
the caveman from the Geico commercials.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I mean, I talked to him. He was a super awesome dude. So I
Oh,
don't,
you did?
I don't say that in a negative way at all.
He was a character on stage.
Yes.
Though. The only quote I remember from him was like, "I could tell you guys what this next song is about, and blah blah blah, but it's called A Bunch of Stab Wounds." That's how it started.
Are you talking about the band?
Swineherd?
Swineherd.
Yeah.
All right, I got the
A
camera
bunch
back.
of stab
I'm
wounds.
gonna give it a clap so we can get these cameras back together. Clap. Okay. A bunch of stab wounds.
So that was
Couldn't
interesting.
look away.
I watched the entire
Yeah,
set.
me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Their guitarist was
That's-
very friendly.
Mm-hmm.
The one that looks like me or the other one?
Yes, the one who looks like you.
Yeah.
Apparently, I never talked to him, but apparently a lot of people thought he was me.
You
Or- yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next was
Thunderlip.
Thunderlip.
But before Thunderlips, there was a magician.
There was a penis magician.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the magician, but I think some of you guys didn't see Thunderlip.
Yeah. So, the magician, he was funny, and like a lot of his act was like penis related. So he'd do the sort of like, I have these foam balls. I'm going to put it in your hand. Okay, now I'm going to take them out, and I'm going to switch them around. Open up your hand, and you will see. I didn't touch your hand, but they're balls.
And now they're two.
and now they're two, and now they're three, and then the guy opened up his hand, and then like a little foam penis like pops up, and it was pretty great. There's a lot of penis jokes.
Yeah, I was impressed with his ability to handle the hecklers, because there were a lot of drunk metal people there, and when there's not drunk metal going on for drunk metal people, they don't always like it very much.
Right.
And he managed to handle it pretty well. At the end of his magic set, he said, "You guys should give all your money to that first band."
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
really,
really?
he did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he really liked us.
That's awesome.
Well, and then he was having a cigarette out front at the end of his set, and so I went out and was like, "Dude, that was so cool! Like, that was so much fun. I love that." And he's just kind of, "Cool, thanks, man." And then he's like, "Oh, you were in the first band, weren't you?" and it's like we became buddies.
Sweet.
After that, and he was super cool.
Nice.
So, and then it was Thunderlips.
Yeah, Thunderlip. I didn't get to see. So I saw a video of this, but I was up in the green room with Jesse from Sound of Thunder. We were talking like band business stuff. I saw maybe two or three songs at Thunderlip, and they were great. They were really fun. But apparently, and I think Brent, you saw this, right?
I saw the whole set.
Okay, so tell everyone what happened
Well,
during the Thunderlip set.
I'll just tell about my Thunderlip experience.
Okay.
I mean, they're so fucking great. Like, one of my favorite live show experiences ever, honestly. Like, the entire crowd is going crazy. They're kind of like a 70s hard rock-esque twin guitar, just hard rock fun band.
Mm-hmm.
And the singer was he had like the persona of like the 70s, probably on some kind of weird drug.
kind of this drugged out singer thing, because you'd be
Yeah.
like
Like
while the
weird
guitars would play,
movements
could be while the guitars would
and-
play, it'd be like
Kind of like a coked up David Bowie.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
like even on stage he'd like do these very weird mannerisms, like
No shirt with a vest and like glitter.
Yeah.
And, like tight jeans, you could see his
that,
dick.
yeah.
Yep.
Like
Speaking of that,
not like not particularly like he wasn't like a technically amazing vocalist, but like fucking rocked. And the whole band was really awesome. Anyway, the most notable part, which Ty's talking about, is during the like last or second to last song, he literally on stage lit his pubes on fire and
Yep.
Because he had his pants by the end of the song, like
They were like
by the last
they were
song,
going
all the
down.
way
his
down.
dick,
Yeah.
but it was like directly above his dick.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a just quick thing. It was like, oh, no, this side's not. Or it like lasted a while.
Yeah. And if you
It was
go
kind of intense.
if you go to Facebook and you type in Thunderlip one word, you'll find their band webpage, and they have the video, the full video of the pube fire.
Are you serious?
Like pinned to the top.
I need to see that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like a front
You didn't
row.
flinch.
We'll have
Yeah.
to watch that when
Yeah.
we're done.
It was.
podcasting.
I'll put it right here. There it is. This is what happened.
Oh man.
It was. Yeah, watching. Like I wasn't there when that happened, and I heard about it, and I was like, wait a minute, what did I miss? Some dude lit his pubes on
The
fire.
entire venue smelled like burnt hair.
Yeah.
For a while.
And then I felt so bad that I missed that. But then I got to see it on the Facebooks, and yeah.
So I was thinking about it later, and I was like, all right, there's not many appropriate times to burn your pubes, especially in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah, in public.
And
yeah.
I was thinking, like, we'll get to the next night, but the next night there was like a really proggy kind of Dream Theater band, and I was thinking, like, at no point during this band set could they have lit their pubes on fire and have it make sense. You know, think of like a Dream Theater concert. It doesn't make sense.
That's gonna be the bar.
Yeah,
Right.
there's
To
a
get
bar.
over.
Yeah.
Like
But Thunderlip, like,
I imagine them lighting their pubes on
the
fire.
Thunderlip, like, the crowd was going crazy all night. The room was packed, super fun. Like, the energy was there, and like, of any time to light your pubes on fire, that was
the one.
it.
I do wish we'd gone like third or something because this crowd built up so much.
too.
Yeah.
We did well on merch though, despite having the start of the crowd.
Mhm.
Yeah. I figure at the end of the day they were nice. I'm sorry.
No,
They were
finish. I'm
nice
sorry.
enough to add us on to the show. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I did indeed watch about half of Thunderlip's set, but Brett and I were kind of swapping rounds. So I was, I think, 6 or 7 drinks in by that point. So
Yeah.
I did indeed watch it. Admittedly, I only remember little bits and pieces, but from what I remember, it was pretty good.
I ended up having like 8 beers that night.
Yeah.
and that was the perfect amount for that band.
So and as we did Metal C, Steven bought us a round of what he thought was rum, and he meant it to be rum. I think we ended up getting moonshine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
Um,
moonshine.
But he tried to get us
Yeah.
a band-wide shot of rum for Metal C.
we managed to
but-
drink it while we were playing.
Yeah.
But I based on the taste, I mean, it was awfully grain alcohol-y.
Yeah.
Um,
It kicked like a mule too.
yeah,
It was
it did.
Yeah.
And that's
I remember grabbing it and I was like singing and I was trying to like find a spot to pause and take a sip, and I was sort of like microphone glass, and then I found like the perfect spot, and I'm sort of like, and then it's like, oh, something came back in too soon, and I started singing into my glass, and I'm like, oh, and like a bunch of people caught that, and they're like just this laughter thing, and somebody got it on camera. It was great.
Oh, awesome.
So
yeah. Usually, when your first drink of the day is moonshine, it's usually downhill from there.
oh yeah.
And they had this black lager on tap there that was really good. I think I had at least 4 of those.
They had 24-ounce PBRs, which you could exchange one of our band drink tickets for. So that's what did me in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 2 beers in one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mega Colossus closed,
Just destroyed.
and they sounded
Oh.
great.
They played like their entire new EP.
Yeah.
which had
New
to have a
stuff's
Kickstarter
great.
for that.
Yeah. Go
Get on.
go search out Mega Colossus Kickstarter and get on that. They just got their vinyl in. It looks really cool.
Sweet.
It's like translucent green vinyl. It looks really sweet.
Um,
So yeah, get on that. Those guys are just they're so fun.
I returned the favor and bought them a shot of Jameson during their
Nice.
set. And
What?
Is your finger stuck in there? You're gonna have to amputate.
Oh.
I was hoping I could make it through the podcast like this.
now you have no
Uh-oh.
choice.
Now we know. All right.
Amputate.
Can you wiggle it out?
It's okay. I'll keep trying to get it out.
You don't play guitar with that finger, so you don't need it.
Yeah, it's fine. Just
Needless to
take
say,
the tab off.
I managed to rack up a significant bar tab that night.
Mhm.
And then I managed to rack up a significant
Oh, glad I
hangover
think
the
of that.
next day.
Yeah,
So
me too.
yeah.
Well,
Crisis averted.
But boy, yeah, that was a really fun show.
Uh-huh.
And just great night,
love
great
that
vibes. Just a good happy drunk show.
Yeah.
it was like their version of the Frequency. like the
Right.
size.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely had that
The
feel.
stage,
Yeah.
like, reminded me of Frequency.
Yeah, if I step 3 more steps that way, I'm falling off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then loading out, it was like fucking downpouring like
Oh
crazy.
yeah, I'm glad that we like mostly packed up pretty much
Yeah.
everything. ahead of
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So
That
yeah,
was smart. Yeah, that was smart.
another advantage of getting done early is most of our shit is able to get back in the trailer and back under padlock,
Crazy downpour.
which
Yeah.
is just good for peace of mind as
Mhm.
well.
Then we got burritos.
Yep.
I kind of remember that.
Tacos,
yeah.
and you got burritos, yeah.
And we stayed another night at Steve's party mansion, and then we had to get up in the morning and drive to Atlanta, and that wasn't all that bad. Hoyt set up the show in Atlanta, and he emailed me. He's like, "Hey man, just to let you know, we're going through this crazy cold spell in Atlanta right now, and I think it's going to affect attendance, and I'm super sorry, and not much I can do about it, and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh, how cold is it going to be?" He's like, "Man, it might get down to 40." And I'm like,
It was in the 30s.
Yeah, I feel
No,
like
it was.
in
I
the
think it was.
30s.
I think it actually hit freezing.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
cold actually.
but I guess that's an anomaly for them. And I'm
Well, yeah,
like,
for,
oh,
that,
well.
for that, for Atlanta,
40,
that's like
30,
the end
whatever.
of the world.
I lost my hoodie, so I was kind of cold.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you did lose it then?
still don't have it. That's why I bought this.
So
That's nice though.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got to the masquerade, and that place was really nice. Like we loaded in, and there were like roadies to help
Yeah,
us.
That was weird.
We
Yeah.
had 2 stages. Like we still played on a sizable stage, but I mean it was a big venue. It had like one big room that could probably fit maybe let's say 1,000 or whatever, and
Right,
then it had
right.
the room we played in, which was still sizable.
Yeah. We played with
Balcony.
Scorch Moon. Who was the second band?
Scorched Moon was the proggy band.
The
that
proggy
should
band.
not light their peas.
No,
on
they
fire.
shouldn't. No. Were we the second band? No. Zaruda.
Zaruda.
Which were
Holy
awesome.
fuck.
Pots and Pans Prague.
I looked them up online.
Prague, I love that.
Did you have?
No.
did anyone else? They don't have much of a like online presence, and I get the vibe like they're a new band, but all those dudes have been playing for a long time,
Yeah.
especially
Oh, that's
Laser.
the one where the guitars is in Laser Wolf. or
Laser
something,
Wolf.
yeah.
I'll see
Yeah.
them too.
How were they?
Fantastic.
Was that metal, Laser Wolf?
It reminded me a lot of Zaruda,
Really? It
Yeah.
sounds like a synthwave band.
It does, yeah.
but they were just kind of like mostly instrumental, crazy good musicians, like very proggy and like all over the place kind of vibes. But all of them were just such good players.
Mhm. And one of the guitarists used like literal pots and pans for
Yeah.
like slides, and he used a whisk to like whack his guitar.
His amp and pedal board was covered in aluminum foil.
Yeah.
And he had a cool hat.
Yep.
They were incredible.
They were good.
They were.
And then we played, A Sound of Thunder played, and then In Violet.
First belly dancer band I've ever seen.
Inviolate.
In Violate.
Belly dancer metal.
Yeah, it was belly dancer metal. Ended out the night, and they were pretty good.
She put swords on her head.
Yeah.
And then belly danced. She balanced swords like blade
Yeah.
on her head
That's
and then
pretty cool.
danced. So
Stayed with Hoyt, got to see his crazy giant D&D collection, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Then we woke up early the next morning. We drove like 13 hours back to Madison, and that was a little bit mind-numbing, but we made it.
we had good old fashioned Southern biscuits.
Yeah.
Preface.
Had some
Poor
breakfast.
Aki still didn't get his waffles.
Yeah.
Maybe
Someday.
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 Yep. So that was the tour.
It was a great tour.
And yeah, honestly, we had no breakdowns, we had no problems, we had no drama. It was
We
good.
paid for our breaks.
Yeah. Before we left for the tour, I had to get the brake pads repaired. And when they took the brake pads off, they're like, "Oh man, your calipers are rusted to the point where they're gonna fall off." And so we got to replace those. And so they took those off, and they're like, "Oh man, your wheel bearing is also pretty shot. You need to get that replaced." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I showed up, and it's like, "Okay, total bill $1,400." I'm like, "Ah!" Because the band fund was like at -100, and we're like, "Oh god, we're so close to getting back into the black," and blah blah blah, and then boom, -1,400. We're like, "Shit." Yep. But we made enough on the tour to cover both gas and the cost of all the repairs. So I'm happy to say that currently we're like $100 in the black.
Really? Ever since we've been doing these mini tours, I've been just enjoying
Yeah.
the tours a lot more. Like, there's something fun too about doing like a 9 or 10 day tour, but the problem is like, again, those like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday shows, most Sunday night shows are just flat.
Yeah, and it kind of
But-
burns your enthusiasm when you're playing like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to like 10 people.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
worth noting real quick that the Atlanta show was on a Sunday and it was still it was
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
decent.
Luckily,
Like,
Martin Luther King Day was Monday.
Right, and
I think
that's
helped.
kind of what I think helped is the Martin Luther King holiday the next day.
Yeah.
So, all right, hey, let's try these cookies that
Yeah,
Robert.
I was just about to say, let's,
that Robert
let's
made.
dig into those.
Do you have milk by chance?
No,
Okay.
I do not.
That's like one
Yeah,
of the
we
best
got
things
alcohol.
to cut spicy.
We have alcohol. I put do not eat on them.
Man, I just had coffee, beer, and now some hot chili peppers. Like, what could
Aki,
go wrong?
I'm gonna give you a half.
they're the keys for good.
Do you want a half or do
digestive
you want less?
I'll do a half. How about a quarter?
You do a quarter. Okay.
beer, coffee, Carolina Reapers.
Here you go. Here's a quarter.
What could
Brent,
go
do you
wrong?
want-
The three cornerstones
I'll
for
just
proper
take- I'm
digestive
gonna start with
health.
a bite.
You want to just here? I'll just give you a little guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. God, I'm gonna regret this, but I'm gonna take
Smells like a raisin
an
oatmeal.
incredibly small.
Oh shit, this isn't raisin, is it?
Yeah, it's raisin.
Why, are you allergic to raisins?
I just think they taste like shit.
Well, I mean, all right. 3, 2, 1, fuck it.
Woo!
More can burn.
Yep.
It's increasing.
Yep. The crisis in the city. It's increasing.
Hasn't stopped
Oh.
increasing yet.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna close this up. Just gonna close this up. Just gonna get some beer in here and it'll all go away. Oh god.
I approve.
Ah.
Ty, I know you don't like spicy food, but
How you doing, Brent?
would you accept an invitation?
Okay. Better than Thai.
Would you accept an invitation if we as a band got to go on Hot Ones?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would need more of that.
Okay. Hey Robert, fuck you.
It's
I
on
love
the-
you.
It's
I love
on
you,
the,
but Jesus Christ, man.
I enjoyed that, Robert. That was good.
I had a little bite, and that's like on the upper end of my spice
Yeah, I
tolerance.
can't. I'm a wimp. I'm such a wimp.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have eaten that.
That's
I
good.
should not have. I'm gonna put the cover.
I would say this is like
Oh, butts.
this is probably a good like 8
That'll make your bowl run.
Hot butts.
For sure.
8 or 9 out of 10 at most like Thai or Laotian places, like pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Last time I was in this much pain was at a Thai restaurant, for sure.
The food of my people.
Mm.
Every time I walk in, it's just like flower petals and bowing. I'm like, I just want to eat with my people. That's all I want to do.
I love this afterburn.
It's
It actually is like a really tasty, spicy.
Ah,
it's weird.
yeah, I guess so.
It just is also quite painful.
yeah.
Mm.
So the only thing that's going to cut the pain in my mouth right now is a wonderful, beautiful picture of a cat. Ladies and gentlemen, Aki's cat picture of the month. Here it is, right there.
Actually,
This is
taken by
actually
me.
It's actually Brent Goes Outside presents Aki's cat picture of the month.
I feel like this is like an Aki and Brent's cat picture of the
Wow,
month.
that is just a
Yes.
that's
I was-
like a Christmas time kitten right there. That's a fa la 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 la. Yep,
That's Steven's cat.
that is Steven's cat. That is Aki. Can you tell us some?
Yeah. Ooh, my mouth is on fire.
Yep.
Should have swallowed it like a duck instead of like chewing.
Like a duck.
I would say that I have a little bit of adrenaline, like fight or flight response
Yep.
going on right now.
Yep.
So,
Might take my jacket off.
at Steve's place, they had a fireplace. And Brent took a very nice composed shot.
Yep.
Might take my
Just like
socks-
Aki is trying to compose himself
Might
right
take my
now.
socks off too.
This cat, I really like how it had his legs like this.
Yep. And that was
Oh,
Aki's
no.
picture.
Looks very classy. The burn is really
Watch your eyes.
increasing.
Watch your
Oh, yeah.
eyes. Watch
The
your
burn
eyes.
is really increasing.
Oh shit. I should probably like wash my hands.
Yeah. Well, just don't touch your ice cream.
Yeah. Look, I
Oh God, yeah, it just doesn't go away. It just keeps going.
What's the name of the pepper again?
Carolina Reaper.
It wasn't bad for the first minute or two. But
No, and it's just the crisis in the city. It's increasing.
it's trying to burn when I breathe.
All right. So, you know what? You know what's gonna help?
Do they use those to make actual pepper spray?
Yeah, maybe.
I just want to say, Brent, you do a good job framing pictures.
No.
Thanks.
Here's one thing. There's only one thing right now that's gonna cut. That's gonna cut the heat of because we tried cats and that didn't work. It just made it worse. Just made it worse. So how about we get Vape Nation? Oh shit. I got it. Okay. So first.
That must be what those pink guys are
So
for.
first I gotta take one of these, and I gotta separate it from its brethren, and open it up and tear off its head, and squeeze its blood into the top of this,
You need the Kleenex.
and then, and only then, I can start.
Look what you've done, Robert.
Oh God, I think it's out of battery.
Is that the mechanism you used for the whole tour, or is this
No,
new?
no, this is brand new.
Okay.
There we go.
Whoa.
Vape Nation.
What is that?
Vape Nation. So this is my brand new Vocal Mist personal saline pump.
And for stoner metal bands, can they put weed in there?
Yeah, right. Vape Nation. And if I were to tighten this up, which I didn't do ahead of time, if I were to tighten this up, I could wear this while driving. Right, so I could go like, beep beep. I'm driving. And exactly.
Yeah.
So what this does, what I did here is I took medical saline and I put it on the top of this thing, and this thing nebulizes the saline into a mist, which hydrates my nose and my throat, and it runs on a 10-minute timer. You want to try?
Nope.
You sure?
Yeah. Wait, maybe that'll help the spicy.
Should we give it a shot?
You can't make it any worse, can it?
just stick your face into it.
So have you ever had Carolina Reaper before?
Mm-hmm.
I've not.
I had some. No, this actually helps.
Yep, it does
Actually,
actually.
I had some. One of Ty's and my friend Zach Dorman Jones. He gave us some. He likes spicy stuff more than me even. And,
Yeah.
Did Carolina Reaper and like Gouda or whatnot.
Yeah.
It was nowhere as spicy as this.
Yeah.
I think that one just said tiny slices. This must have had a chunk or something. Whew.
Yeah.
Is
He said it was.
is this currently one of your spiciest moments ever? Do you think?
It's hard. I think it is. I don't know if I got a big chunk, but it's stronger than I'm used to.
Well, you ate like half a cookie or...
Yeah, he did.
Quarter?
We just had bites.
Maybe a quarter,
Yeah.
not half. Yeah.
I had like a nibble, and I'm doing just fine.
Yeah.
This is helping.
Is this a top 3 spiciest moment in hockey history moment?
I don't know about that. It's easily in the top 10 or top 8.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd say top 5 for me.
So I bought this little contraption when I was.
stand by my decision.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
I bought this little
Of course it
contraption
hurts.
when I was at NAMM in California. So we just got off a tour. I spent a couple days.
We'll wake him up in 20 minutes.
Right. I spent a couple days home, and then I got on a plane and went and flew to California to attend NAMM. NAMM is the National Association of Music Manufacturers, and it is like basically the world's biggest electronic trade show. You taking a picture?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Vape Nation, Shocky.
It actually feels really nice.
I know, right?
Babe.
Yep, there you go. So shots from behind the TRIDENTCast. So NAMM was absolutely crazy. I got to meet so many famous people. I got to see so many famous guitarists, and just check out all this amazing gear. I was really lucky that I got invited to the Tech Awards show, which was this huge award show where Dimitri Martin was hosting and Peter Frampton was being honored, and so he played a set, and so I got to see Peter Frampton. I got to see Sarah McLachlan. A lot of really, I got to see Andy James, Perry Nielsen.
Is she the one with the puppies and the cat?
Yeah,
Yes.
In the Arms of an Angel. Yeah, that's her. So, and I picked up that Vocal Mist thing at NAMM because I was looking around and it was mostly like guitars, basses, drums.
I thought you had this on tour.
No, I had like the big personal humidifier on tour. This thing is like portable. And I bought, so at NAMM they had a special where it's like $30 off if you buy it at NAMM, and they're like, oh, you know, you can get the Vocal Mist and then 100 pack of the saline for, you know, I don't know, $100 or something. Yep, there you go, Vape Nation. Aki's toe up on the saline.
What is the? Oh, this.
Yeah, Vape Nation.
I'm actually not joking. This is making the heat
Yeah,
way easier.
it's saline. Yeah,
I
salts,
should-
man.
I should mention, you know, Ty had his non-portable humidifier on the tour, but both he and Nina did a really impressive job of like not talking in the van or at the venue as far as like yelling over loud things, vape nation, drinking tea, like.
Michelle and Brent would have the usual comedy in the car, and Ty would be like laughing and
Yeah.
yeah.
Thumbs up.
He did a really good job like protecting his voice, and it seems like it made a
big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first times you took it that seriously.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, and I think stuff like this and the personal humidifier definitely helped.
Off drops.
I'm really looking forward to using this because it's a cool mist and it's like nebulizing saline, so it should be even more hydrating than. And I can do it like portable.
Yeah.
You know, I can strap this on and I can help you guys load gear. And it just goes on a 10-minute timer, so it auto shuts off. And it charges via USB.
I gotta say, like, yeah, I have a lot of respect for, like, seriously, for you being able to keep up your voice. You know, I think I've said before, but, you know, you can play guitar and bass when you're sick. You could have a fever and still, you know, you're not feeling well, but you can still shred and whatnot. But,
Biggest show I ever played, Steel Panther. I was sick as hell.
Yeah.
but I think of,
I had a torn ACL.
you know, sometimes I talk a lot in the van, and I feel so rough. You know what I mean? During sound check, even I'll just be like, fight, check, you know. And you know, I can't imagine doing all these shows.
Yeah, it's
my
taxing.
my throat always feels hoarse after talking in the van.
Yeah. So yeah, I went to NAMM.
Yeah.
By the way, for the
Yeah.
I was gonna say for the viewers, I've been so excited. I haven't hung out with Ty since the tour, and I've been wanting to hear all the NAMM stories. So
Yep.
I'm very excited.
In
So-
particular, one about
Andy James.
Andy
my favorite
James.
guitar player.
Yep.
I can't wait to hear the story. I hope he wasn't mean.
So
It'll ruin my dreams.
I got into NAMM and I was in an Airbnb that was 2 miles away from the convention center, with a bunch of shredders that were sponsored.
Sorry.
This is just great.
Sure,
This is
funny.
great footy right here. That were sponsored by Kiesel Custom Guitars.
Uh-huh.
So pretty much everybody I was staying with was all like headstocks, pickups. Oh, let me think about inverted Lydian minor, blah blah blah. You know, and Mary was like guitars. And I'm just sitting here like, I like to sing.
Were you with Mary?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was me and Mary and like 3 other dudes, and they were all, you know, crazy shredder guitarists that were all sponsored by Kiesel. And you know, they know Andy James and Perry Nielsen and Sarah Longfield and blah 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 blah, you know. And so yeah, I was really like the odd duck, you know. But I got in the first night. So NAMM runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I got in Thursday night, so I missed the whole first day because I had to work. I couldn't get there till late, and I got in, and the house was super nice, but everybody was just sitting on the couches, just like dead. They were just like, "Hey man, hey, what's up?
Babe niche.
Hey, how you go?" Yeah, you know. And I'm like, what's going on? And Mary's like, we're so exhausted. We're at NAMM all day, and oh god, we just don't want to, you know. And so I was like, it's like, hey, great to meet you. What was your name? Brandon. Nice to meet you. I'm like, he's like, you know. And so I sit down on the couch. We start watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and they're pausing to talk about, like, they were hanging out with Andy James like that whole day, and they were talking about this really awkward conversation with a fan that Andy James had while they were just like hanging with him.
I was worried.
Yeah. And so they were all like super tired. They were trying to explain. I'm like, oh, Andy James, I got to hear this story. My guitarist loves Andy James. He's like, okay. So here's what happened. This guy on the couch. He's like, so here's what happened, right? So this kid like walks up to. So like we were in a circle, right? And we're talking to Andy, and then this kid walks up, and he, so, okay, so like, all right, so like stand up, and you're Andy James, right? So stand right there, and so I stand, and this is like, I had met these guys for like 5 minutes, and I stand right there, and he's like, okay, so you're Andy James, right? And I'm like, hello, I'm Andy James. I'm really nice, and I can shred really fast. This is how I talk because I'm British. My name is Andy. And everybody just starts cracking up. They're like, it's like, where's a beanie? We got to get him a beanie. Holy shit, let's get him a beanie. You know.
Cradle of filth.
Cradle of filth. and so the guy comes up, and so what he says is, this kid, like they're in this conversation, and this kid comes through, and he goes, and he's holding like a piece of paper, and he walks up, and he's like, are you Andy James? And he's like, yeah, hey man, how's it going? Nice to meet you. You know, puts out his hand, and the kid goes, I'm a really big fan. Can I have your autograph? And Andy goes, yeah, if you've got something for me to sign, yeah, I could do it. And so he puts his backpack on the ground, and he goes like this slowly, all while maintaining eye contact. And he rummages in his backpack while still looking at him, and then he slowly comes up like this. And it's like a dead silence now in the group. There's like 5 people, and all of them are
staring at this
dead
kid.
silent. And the kid goes, he's holding his paper. He's like, I'm a big fan.
Please tell me Andy James looked really awkward.
I'm a really big fan. Yeah, and Andy James was like, okay. It auto shut off. So.
Oh, okay. It's okay. I think
Yeah.
I'm good. That felt really good.
I know, doesn't it? Feels amazing.
Oh my god.
So this piece of paper, this folder, has like a bunch of other people's signatures on it.
Did you get Andy James' signature?
So hold on, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm sorry.
And he hands him a pen, and Andy signs it, and hands it back to the kid, and the kid goes, I'm a really big fan. And everybody else is just sitting there like, this is really awkward. And the kid doesn't leave, but just stands there and takes the pen and writes like in very small like print like Andy James right under his signature, like while they're still talking about guitars and stuff. And he just keeps like standing there like looking, like just like dead staring at Andy James. And every 5 minutes or so he'll just interject like, Andy, I'm a really big fan. You know, and,
Fight or flight.
right? And
Brain functioning on the most primary of levels.
And so everybody was laughing, and so he was telling me the story, and the whole time I was like, you know, acting like Andy James, like, oh, hello, I'd love to sign your little booklet. Oh yeah, I'm a really nice guy. My name is Andy James. Blah 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 blah. So night number 2, right? We all get back from NAMM, and we're all really fucking exhausted, and we go out and we get beers. And they bought a bunch of like Coors Light.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And we go down to like the store, and I buy a bunch of like 10% beers. And so
fucking coasters.
I know. And so we get pretty drunk, you know. And they're like, oh, we should fucking film the Andy James thing. We should do like a play. Like, where's a beanie? I'm gonna get you a beanie. Okay. Now roll up your sleeves, because Andy James always rolls up his sleeves. Okay. All right. And okay, everybody places everybody. And we film this whole thing, and the guy narrates it like, scenes from Andy James, signs, you know, from NAMM, and you know, and I do the whole thing. And you know, and like 1 a.m, drunkenly, we're like, oh, post it, tag Andy James in it, tag Andy James, you know. And it wasn't anything where it was like I was making fun of Andy James. It was more we were all making fun of this weird situation where the guy was like, I'm a big fan, because he just kept saying it over and over, like, I'm a big fan, I'm a big fan. And I was like, oh, I don't know what to do with this situation when you're such a big fan, but I'm happy you're a fan, and I don't, you know, and I think it's, at some point during the thing, it's like, I think I sound like Michael Caine, but I'm definitely Andy James. I'm a guitarist who shreds very fast. And so, you know, we tag Andy James, and then, you know, about 10 minutes afterwards, I'm like, all right, guys, this is fun, but it's 1 a.m. We got to get up at like 8 and get to NAMM the next day. It's like, I got to go to bed. So they're all like close friends with Andy James. So they tag Andy in it, and they're like, Andy, you remember that kid that, you know, blah, 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 blah. Well, apparently he took it the wrong way, and he thought I was making fun of him.
Oh.
And it wasn't just that. You know, he apparently had a really rough day at NAMM and all that sort of stuff. So he posted something back on their comment like, oh, I can't fucking wait to get out of NAMM. I hate this place, blah, 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 blah. You know, and so I woke up the next morning, and Mary's like, dude, Andy is pissed. I'm like, oh no, I'm never gonna get that autograph for Rocky. Shit. So I never actually did run into Andy James because
No, you didn't get to meet him in person.
I didn't get to meet him the whole rest of the time at NAMM. Apparently, he just kind of stayed in his hotel room and he didn't want to come out.
Oh.
So that was too
You
bad.
couldn't do the whole pretend your room service.
I mean, maybe, but I didn't try.
See Ty wearing bellhop.
Poor guy.
Hello, sir. You remember me? Punch in the face.
Oh, okay.
But next year. But the thing is like
You met Per Nelson though, right?
Have you thought about maybe just messaging him, or like just sending a message, being like, "Hey."
Oh, Mary already cleared it all up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's all fine now. It was just at the time he was really kind of like, I hate NAMM and I hate everybody and I'm mad and this is how I sound. I'm Andy James.
Wow.
So
Did he come from England?
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it would suck to come across the ocean and have a bad time.
So.
Mhm.
I have a bunch of stupid Yankees making fun of you.
Yeah.
I wish I could come. That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, the best way I can describe NAMM, actually Dimitri Martin put it really well. So the convention center that NAMM was in is like a half-mile long. It is fucking-gantic.
What
Like
city is it?
Anaheim, and it's right next to Disney. And there are 4 floors of NAMM, so it's like a half a mile times 4.
Is there a floor where like the biggest makers like Fender and are or whatnot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fender has like a quarter of a whole floor. Gibson has a quarter of a whole floor.
Okay.
Um,
Because saying like Fender, they own Jackson and UVH
Yep.
and all those
Yep,
companies.
and they split it into like the Fender, the American, the Jackson, the EVH, the blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Like Hall D, where we were at, was all guitars. It was like nothing but guitars, and they had every custom model of every maker, and it was all geared towards like metal people. Like it was 99% of the people I saw there looked like they had either walked out of the
at NAMM?
80s, or were like in
Seriously?
a gent band. It was like your dream.
I mean, I feel like I do when I watch videos from them, like from prior years,
Yeah.
and there's so many like shredders and Guthrie Govan type people, and like yeah, I do get the sense that it's like a lot of metalheads and like that shred fusion type style guitars.
I got to hang out with the guitarist from Born of Osiris.
He is amazing. I played them the car before.
Yeah. So
no way.
So I
Davidson?
Yeah. He was
God, that guy can shred like a fucking
like
mofo.
like red hair, kind of. He's got like a swoopy.
I've never
back
seen a
cut.
picture of him.
Anyway, he was really nice. We hung out for a while and just talked. Like I didn't know anything about guitar, so we just talked about like random stuff. But he was a really nice guy.
So
He hung out with us the whole weekend. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you? I don't know if you shook hands with him, but you got to see Per Nelson like in person.
I got to see Pernos and I didn't get to meet
Did
him.
he seem friendly?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I ran into Sarah twice. She was doing 2 days in a row. She was doing a little thing, and then the coolest thing, other than being at the Tech Awards, was the whole she's like, oh yeah, last night me and a bunch of YouTubers ran. It was me and Adam Neely and this guy and that guy and Samurai Guitarist and blah blah. And she's like, oh shit, I should have texted you. I'm like, God damn right, you should have texted me. Like, oh my god, She's like, well, you want to come tonight? And they were meeting at the Tiki Bar in the Sheraton. It was like the hangout spot for all the YouTubers. So I got to hang there. And I got to meet Adam Neely. It was so fucking cool.
Wow.
He saw my GoPro on my wrist. He's like, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's my GoPro. Whoop! And he's like, that is so cool. They make a wrist strap? I'm like, yeah, dude. And I was wearing my Patreon shirt. And so everybody at the YouTube party thought I was from Patreon. So they were coming up and asking me questions about like, oh yeah, man, you work for Patreon? I got this question about my account and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, I don't work for Patreon, but I have a pretty successul Patreon going on right now. Speaking of that, get on the Patreon, patreon.com/Lords of the Trident if you're not there already. And the dude from Gear Gods?
Yes.
Yeah, so the guy that runs that channel and the website.
Fuzz?
Yeah, maybe. He had a
So-
beanie and a I hung out with him. I hung with him for a long time, and I actually offered to revamp his Patreon for him. So, yeah.
So we're gonna mention a few names and booths, and you're gonna give us your thoughts.
Okay, here we go.
So one is Fluff, and we saw you posted.
Maybe
a picture on
I think I
Facebook.
meant Fluff. I
Yeah.
said Fuzz, I meant Fluff.
Oh,
Sorry.
Fluff.
So nice guy.
Super nice, incredibly nice, and just a funny dude. I came up to him and I said, dude, thank you so much for making that in-ear rack setup video. I followed that to the letter. He's like, you know, man, you were like the 25th person today that's come up to
No
me
way.
and said that specific video. And I'm like, wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So,
Does,
yeah.
well, nice.
Yeah, he was super cool.
Does he still use the Mesa Triple Crown for live for his band?
I didn't actually see him play, but he was running the JSP booth. JS.
Oh, okay.
So
Huh.
yeah, the guy Brandon that I was staying with, who was sponsored by Kiesel, was also sponsored by like JSP plugins, and he did a live demonstration of some of the live Pro Tools like AmpSynth plugins.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I got to meet the guy who made those plugins, Joey Sturgis.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know, so yeah.
How was Tosin Abasi
Yes,
there?
Tosin was there, and I got to give him a high five.
No way.
Yep. Tosin had his own booth. It was like Abasi guitars,
Yeah.
and this other guy who had a hat.
He makes his own guitars now. He kind of, I think,
Holy crap.
broke off from Ibanez and kind of.
Yeah.
He's an interesting one. He broke off from Ibanez, and it's really weird. He now uses like a boutique tube amp, but then he plays a Seymour Duncan Palladium distortion pedal through it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there was this other guy there who had like a hat, and he kind of looked like a fat Tosin,
Yeah.
and he was playing like and Tosin. It was funny because Tosin was like taking a video of him with his cell phone, going like oh, and I'm like, dude, you're Tosin Abasi. You know, like I don't know why you're freaking out about somebody else playing the guitar. Like Jesus Christ.
Were the two guys from that pedal show there?
I don't know that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Probably.
Cool, it's kind of a cool YouTube channel. It's like two British guys, and they
Mhm.
talk about pedals and pedal boards.
Okay.
What was your favorite booth while you were there?
My favorite booth was either. That's hard.
No.
Yeah.
You do it.
My favorite booth was okay. I would say I have two favorites, but I'd say the runner-up was the Orange Amps
Really?
booth
Okay.
because it was just laid out so crazy. Like obviously everything was orange, and all of the walls of the Orange Amp booth were all orange amps, so or like orange cabs everywhere. So it was this huge monstrosity of like orange cab wall everywhere, and it was just it stuck out like a sore thumb. It was amazing. I really loved the Motu booth. They had this kind of like suspended ceiling thing that just said Motu across it, and they had like live demonstrations, and they had all the new hardware that they were coming out with. And also the East-West plugins booth had 4 stations where they had live symphonic plugin demonstrations with word building software. So they had like opera choirs where you type in what you want the opera to say, and then you play the keyboard so you can say like, you know, Ie su domine dona eis requiem. You just type that in, and then you can play like Ie su domine dona. You know, like
Whoa.
it was really
Did
cool.
you type any dirty words in there?
A lot of people did. Yep.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like fuck me sideways. You know, but one of the cool things was, you know, like I was saying, every 10 minutes or so, there was at least like 40 booths that had some sort of, you know, feature artist. And one of the feature artists at the East-West booth that I came across by accident was there was an East-West product called like Voices of the East, where they had Chinese opera singers who were doing stuff, and you could type stuff in, and it would, you know, replicate in Chinese opera. There was this one specific singer that they sampled for this thing, and she did a demonstration where she typed in some like words, and she played it on the keyboard while she sang it at the same time.
Wow.
And it was like her voice and her voice at the same time, and it was
Whoa.
like you're just like you could, and like I could not tell the difference.
Wow.
It was so mind blowing how good that was.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did
yeah.
most brands let you play their stuff, or did
Yes, it was all hands on, anything you want.
Interesting, because I always was under the impression that every brand had like a Star Guitars playing, and you weren't allowed to touch anything.
Nope. You are allowed to touch everything in there.
Wow.
Everything.
Including
Wow.
the NAMM Thrax.
Yep. Oh yeah.
How so tell me, how was the Mesa Bookie stand?
Mesa Boogie stand was pretty cool. There
Yeah.
was a lot of amps. It was very busy. I didn't get to try anything.
Right, okay.
You know, and I mean,
And
the thing-
Petrucci was at that one?
Petrucci was at Ernie Ball.
Okay.
I didn't see him at Mesa.
Okay.
The thing was that like I wanted, this was my first NAMM, and I wanted to see as many things as I could, and I was only going to be there for 2 days, where the rest of the people were going to be there for 4,
Yeah.
and so, and like like I said, it's 4 floors of a half a
Oh
mile.
my god.
You know, and there's like 20,000 people there, and almost all of them are famous.
Yeah.
And like, so I wanted to see as much as I could. So I didn't stop to try anything. I just walked and looked. And even walking and looking for two 8-hour days straight, where I did not stop barely at all, I saw maybe 75% of the show. Like, I didn't even see the whole thing.
This makes me so excited.
There was
like,
so much there.
Oh my gosh.
And there was all these weird Chinese manufacturers too.
Yeah.
Like
KZ there.
I couldn't find Casey. I tried to look for it. There was this one called Big
Gotta get
Fiag.
sponsorship.
Yeah, Big Fiag music. It was like I was like, dude. I took a picture. So I have a NAMM Wrapup video that'll put up here, and you'll see the Big Fiag Industries. Yeah.
Last couple questions real quick.
Okay.
Did XFX and Kemper have a booth?
Kemper had a huge booth.
Really? And they're a German maker, right? Or
Yeah.
I can't remember. Okay, yeah.
Kemper had a gigantic booth where they had, I don't know, they must have had 50 different, of all shapes and sizes, like amp modelers. And the cool thing was almost all of them were outfitted with earphones. So like a lot of the booths were really, really noisy, but some of them were, especially some like the amp sim booths, were just like you walk up, you grab a guitar, and and you're doing stuff like that. I saw at least 8 booths that were like making custom in-ears at the show. So like you bought some custom in-ears from this dude, and they were like $1,800. But you got a free ear molding, and so there was a bunch of people like with like stoppers in their mouths, and they're filling up with ear goop in their ears and stuff like that. So yeah. It's Axe Effects. I don't remember I know they were there. I don't remember their booth.
This is very interesting to hear all these stories, because like, I think I was always under the impression, like, I was always nervous about the idea of going to NAMM, because like, I'm an okay guitarist, but not like a great guitarist, and like, I always see these videos on YouTube, and I see all these like booths with amazing musicians, and I was always worried, like, if I wanted to try out something, it'd be like, no.
Who are you?
Right.
No, there was a lot of shitty guitarists.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better. Wow, that.
One of the other cool
sounds like
things.
so much fun.
One of the other great booths that I saw was Froggy Fog. Apparently, makers of premium fog fluid, and also like fog effect machines. One of the coolest things was Froggy Fog had a bubble machine that injected the fog inside of the bubbles. So it would bubbles would come out, and they'd be all like gray, and then you pop and fog would just come out.
Nice.
It was super duper cool.
I think wow, that's a lot. I don't want to take up any more time, but I'll have to ask more details.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. As a guy who's been really struggling to find a good like additional guitar or whatnot, and I'll still obviously try to get used to Charvel. I have that seems like it'd be a great opportunity, because Ty and I, our friend Kenton, we went to Chicago, and we went to I remember we went to Chicago Music Exchange, it's like the biggest store in Chicago for guitars, and this they had maybe like 12 metal guitars, and everything else was like Fender and Gibson style, and it'd be awesome to be able to try all these metal oriented guitars and find a neck that's like very comfortable.
I guarantee you, 2 days at NAMM, you'll be able to play.
It'd be cool to play those like Ernie
400
balls
guitars.
and sewer guitars and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, NAMM was absolutely incredible. It was overwhelming, is what it was. The whole time at NAMM, you're talking like this, because especially.
Is it really that loud?
Oh yeah, because like I said, it's a guitar center that's a half a mile long, and there's 20,000 people there.
But no one's playing Eruption or Sweet Child of Mine, right?
All of them are playing Wrapup, all at the same time, and like holy shit. I thought the guitar room was bad, or I thought the guitar section, because there's section A, section B.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a
section
guitar
C.
section.
Yeah,
Okay.
section D is the guitar section. I thought the guitar section was loud, and then I walked into the drum section, and I immediately put in my earplugs, because holy shit.
Oh.
Did you see Mary Zimmer at all?
I tried to meet up with her,
Okay.
and she never responded to any of my messages.
Oh, okay.
But I saw she was there, so.
Yeah, she was doing presentations too.
hmm
But
I saw Matt Lee.
Yes.
And I ran into him randomly. And I ran into almost all the Raptor Command guys were there. So we had a little Raptor Command
I saw the
reunion.
picture.
Yeah.
And so Max and I, a million years ago, I mean, it must have been 3 or 4 years ago, I did a cover of Nitro's Freight Train on vocals, which was
that.
just a fucking pain in the ass because it was like 40 tracks because it sucks.
I remember
And-
you talking about that, like
Oh
all the
my
vocal
God.
overlays, yeah.
And he hadn't come out with that, and I gave him so much shit about it. Like, Max, when are you gonna just release that?
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know. You think we should? I'm like, yeah, I put so much work into it. What the
Yeah.
fuck? And so while he was there, he came over to the Airbnb and we shot some footage for the music video.
Let me,
So.
oh, sorry.
Last thing I'm gonna say on NAMM, unless there's specific questions. So I bought this Vocalmist thing, and it's awesome. And I bought their like full package. So it's the Vocalmist and 100 vials of saline, right? And it was like cheap. It was like, $30-40 off of the normal price. So I walk away like holding this 100 vials of saline and this Vocalmist, and I'm like, haha, I got a new toy. And then I'm like, shit, I'm on Frontier. Like, I don't have a carry-on. I have a backpack. I don't have a carry-on. I don't have any checked luggage. How in the fuck am I gonna get 100 vials? Like, think of 100 of these in a box.
Going through security.
Like, this looks like this looks shady as shit.
It's not
Right?
a chemical
Oh
weapon.
no, it's saline. It's definitely not liquid meth. Wait, why did I say that out loud?
Why do I have a bandolier of this?
Right. But I got this and everything through security. They didn't ask a single
Are you
question.
fucking kidding
They
me?
didn't even stop it.
You're only supposed to have like 3.5 ounces.
I know. That's
Times
the thing.
100.
That's the thing.
Well, each container is less than 3.5 ounces.
And that's what they said at the booth. They're like, "Well, you'll probably be okay because each container is less than 3.5 ounces." I'm like,
You
"Yeah,
just have 100 of
but
them.
I have 100 of them."
The TSA is probably just still reeling from the fucking shutdown. Or
I know,
something.
I know.
They're like, I don't care anymore.
So anyway,
Anyway.
Yeah, wow. That's,
Okay.
No, that's incredible.
well,
I
we
do-
should. Yeah.
I have one other thing I want to say.
Okay, one other thing.
Brian and I got to see one of, I would call one of the modern guitar greats.
Yeah.
We got to last week see Eric Johnson
Oh, cool.
The Barrymore, yeah.
at the Barrymore, and he played, probably I feel like my favorite album. A lot of
Yeah, he
people's
played
favorite,
Ave
Musicon
in its entirety.
in
yeah.
its entirety. And
How many of his encores did you see?
So okay, that's what I want to talk about. So get this shit. I didn't tell you, Ty.
Oh,
I don't know.
man.
Did Brian tell you? So get
No.
this.
No.
We haven't
So
spoke.
one encore, great, right?
Yeah.
2, okay, happy surprise.
Okay.
He did 3. I stayed for a third, and I was getting restless. I was like, okay. He did 4. I walked out.
Did he leave and
He
come
did
back
4. Yes,
4
every
encores?
time. Every time they freaking left the stage
Eric
and then came back.
Eric Weingartner said he did 5 actually.
What the fuck? I left after 4. I'm like,
That's like when we went and saw Buckethead. We were like, 2.5 hours.
It's not-
We're done.
It's not even funny. Like with 3, I was like, ha ha ha. But like,
I left at the beginning of the third
yeah,
because
yeah.
by that because like the show started at 7:30 I think
Yeah.
or 7:40 and by that point it was already 10 after 10.
Yeah. I
And I'm
left
like,
on the
Andrea's
third,
getting
too.
done with work. I'm gonna go home. We're gonna have supper.
Yeah.
I've heard him. He kicked ass.
Yeah.
That's
He
hilarious.
he kicked ass on everything except Cliffs of Dover.
Really?
His Cliffs of Dover was all wonky.
Mm.
I don't like that song has it swings ba-da 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 and it's supposed to be like this effortless floating melody, you
Yeah.
know, that it's just gliding on air.
Mhm.
And he was like rushing it and playing it with the wrong rhythm. It was like straight.
Huh.
Really?
He was like da 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 da. It didn't fit at all. He nailed everything except Cliffs of Dover, which was all square and weird.
That's weird.
Huh.
I know this is a bad excuse, but I feel like I'm going to give him an exception when he's on a tour, and
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's
Yeah.
just sick of that fucking song
How
and
many
he hates
times
it. And
has
he's
he
like,
played that?
I'm gonna
Right.
fuck this up.
I mean, it's definitely possible. For me, one of the highlights is I really love the song "Trademark" off of Ave Musicom and SRV,
Yeah.
and
SRV's off of Venus Isle, but
oh really? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
SRV and Manhattan are both off of Venus Isle, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But man, his clean tone. He has one of the best clean tones of any guitarist I can think of. It's like so pristine.
His tone was overall very bassy. Like what you hear on the records is, I mean, it's identical live, and that's not necessarily good. I mean, the tones were great, but there were definitely times where you get like this woofy bassiness, and sometimes his distorted tone would just kind of get lost a little bit.
Yeah.
You could still hear it because there was nothing else going on,
Yeah,
except
there's
for
no
bass and
second
drums.
guitarist or anything,
But
yeah.
if there had been anything else going on, that would have just vanished, because it's like he went on everything and turned the treble all the way down to 0.
Really?
Unlike, at least to my ear, that's what it sounded like. There's no treble on anything he does, like, ever. It's just so dark.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe I'm just a fan of dark tones.
Well, it is great. It's just it is what it is.
It's an artistic choice.
It was really cool seeing them. Overall, would you agree? I feel like it was a really good show.
It was a great show overall. Yeah.
I think what's really funny is Alvine Musicom came out in 1990, and what I found hilarious is like, I would say half the audience or more were like 50 or older.
Yes,
and I mean, if you think
absolutely.
about it, if you were like, 20 in 1990, then you're almost 50 now. But it was so funny looking there and seeing all like, the bald heads and whatnot. I feel like it was a mix of like 50 and 60-year-olds and people like in their 20s that are like obviously guitarists.
That was about it. Yeah.
I sat next to this guy who was from Brazil studying at UW for his PhD.
Oh, okay.
And I wish you were there because we were talking guitar a bunch. He plays guitar a bunch, and we were talking about all these shredders and whatnot. And he was saying how he wanted a Strat and a Tele, and he says like $8,000 in Brazil for a USA Fender, and he when he came here, he made sure to pick one up. But it was just kind of funny to see that contrast, like old people and then tons of young guitarists that were inspired by him.
I ended up right in front of the soundboard. So that's pretty cool. And I ended up sitting with one of the guitarists from The Solution.
Cool.
And then otherwise it was just really cold that night. It had to have been. It couldn't have been above 0 that night. It was brutally cold. And I think that was part of it too. Like it got to be 10 o'clock, 10 after. I'm like, my car is sitting out there, and it's only going to get worse from here. So I better get out of here. And then while everyone else was living it up at NAMM, I played the bowling alley on the east side. On the -5, and both Jim's vans died. They needed to call AAA because he was pulled in a weird way where we couldn't even get at his battery. Then I did schedule a recital for my students on Saturday, and that went well. Everyone kind of stepped up and did a really nice job preparing, and
It was all just your students.
Yep. 17 people played.
Wow.
So
they did well.
And, yeah, pretty much everyone. Yeah, not that.
It's not a ukulele thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I had Caleb, one of my students, did Bad Moon Rising. Had a couple Beatles songs, like a couple Ode to Joy, sorts of things. So all of my students are still quite young generally, so it's just getting them up there and getting them doing it. That being said, I think I kind of want to block off NAMM already on my 2020 calendar and not schedule a
I'm
fucking
really
recital
excited.
for that.
This sounds really fun.
Yeah, we can all go.
I've wanted to go to NAMM for probably going on a decade
All right,
now.
it's settled. Lord's 2020.
I wish
at
I
NAMM.
could have gone this year. I mean, that sounds like
I
so
did
much
too,
fun.
and then my recital got over, and I purposely did my best to stay off social media because I'm like, you're there.
Yeah. Damn it.
Fuck this. God damn it.
Yeah. This I think the podcast is going a little long just because we have so much to talk about.
We have so much to talk about. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
just thinking the song they did a music video for.
Yeah, we can't talk about that yet because it's not
Okay.
released yet.
Okay.
A lot of people on the if you're on the behind the scenes on the Patreon, you will have seen a brand new music video that we did that was a passion project, I think mostly of me and Aki. And so if you're not on the Patreon, go to patreon.com/Lords of the Trident, sign up today, and if you get on that behind the scenes level, you'll see the music video before it comes out. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Chicken Cock Whiskey. No, I'm just kidding. Wheelhouse Whiskey.
Why is that even there?
Because we don't have any Wheelhouse Whiskey I drank at all. Rocker Vodka.
Chicken Cock.
Boss Mead, and SKB cases. When I was at NAMM, I got to
I was going
meet
to ask that about too.
our
You met
rep.
that, yeah.
We have a rep so we're an SKB sponsored band, and I got to finally meet our SKB rep, and she was super duper nice. Big shout out to Emily for being so awesome and for handling all of our crazy requests. And probably a reason that a lot of you are watching this, and probably nobody except for our regular fans have got this far. But one of the big things that we did in the last month was the reaction video that we didn't even talk about. So real quick, we did a reaction video for Cole Doctor, who is a
Mastermind.
Real doctor.
He's a real doctor, and he's a friend of our drummer Brett, and he did a video. Women react to extreme metal music, and he had a suggestion of like, oh, you guys should do metal bands react to pop. Since you did women react to metal, you should do metal react to pop. And I looked at the numbers, right? And the women react to extreme metal has like 678,000 views on it in like 3 months.
I'm gonna give you the real time number right now.
And we have currently on this video in 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, we have our number is
609,918.
Yep, 609,000. And like I said at the beginning, when we played a little trivia, like our subscriber count jumped so much from that, it was absolutely insane. So thank you all of the new subscribers who are tuning in. Because of you, we actually got to a point where the channel can now be monetized. So we got 4,000 hours of view time in the last 12 months, and actually like 3,000 of those 4,000 hours were like in the last 15 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And our subscriber count jumped like insane. 2,700 new subscribers in the last 20 days. And Death Dealer, the music video that was featured at the beginning of that song, jumped from like 1,000 views to it's got like 1,500 views. Or no, sorry, 15,000 views.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the real time number on that.
The crazy thing is that like Chains on Fire, our music video, our oldest music video that we released 8 years ago, has like 35,000 views on it, and that's over 8 years. And like Death Dealer now has 15,000.
15,701.
Yeah, and the view counts have just been going like so.
Oh, and this is also good.
Yeah.
Upvotes or up thumbs,
Yeah.
1,100.
Whoa.
Down thumbs, guess how many?
3.
7.
7.
Wow.
That's
So
pretty-
1,100 to 7. That's
pretty good.
That's a
That's
good.
pretty
really good
That's a
ratio.
good ratio.
Yeah.
Just like cats. Just
People like
in that
cats.
video.
People like cats.
Yeah.
So, so thanks everybody, all the new subscribers. If you see this, if you like what we're doing, if you want to help us make more music and do more things, especially more videos, go to patreon.com/RivesTheTrident. Just pledge $1 and you'll get a bunch of exclusive cool stuff. You'll get our bootlegs, you'll get some behind the scenes stuff. It'll be fun.
Knights of Dragon's Eve is up to 19K.
Yeah, Knights of Dragon's Deep
Yeah.
was like the next suggested one in the thing, and so yeah, that's been going crazy too.
Cool.
Lots of really great comments on all of the really positive comments on all of this stuff so far.
It's really.
I've seen like
flattering
maybe
to
like
read those.
3 potentially partially negative comments come in a flood of like hundreds. So it's been really great. So I think we'll end it there, gentlemen, because this has probably been one of the longest podcasts.
Chick-fil-A closes at 10.
Chick-fil-A closes. We got to get there ASAP. All right. Until next time, Aki, you've got the last word. What is it?
Uh-oh.
Good night.
Good night.